Today what I wanted to do is review section 7.2. So in section 7.2 we talked about parabolas. Parabolas were section 7.1, but circles were in 7.2. And we're just going to overall do a review of conic sections. So this is section 7.2. And we are going to review circles and conic sections, circles and parabolas. Alright, so first thing let's do is let's talk about parabolas. And just get my notes ready over here. Section 7.1, 7.2. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about parabolas, parabolas look like this. In general, we use the equation of a parabola written like this. This is called vertex form. And when we have a parabola, all parabolas have what's called a vertex that we use h and k to represent. All the parabolas are points that are equidistant from a focus and a directrix. And the key is the focus is 1 over 4a units away, and it's the same distance to the directrix. If it's a vertical parabola, the coordinates of the focus are going to be h and then k plus 1 over 4a, because we're going up, and the equation of a directrix would be y is equal to k minus 1 over 4a. We also have something called the lattice rectum, and that pretty much determines how wide the parabola is going to be. It's like a belt. And the length of the LR is 1 over the absolute value of a units. We'll do a couple examples with parabolas, and then we'll talk about circles. So let's say we had a problem that looked like this. 3x minus, let me see here. Let's do it like this. Let's say 3y minus x squared is equal to 8x plus 31. We're going to find all of these components. So, first thing we could do is get it into, get the y by itself. So we're going to have 3y is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 31. We could divide everything by 3. And now we could go ahead and complete the square to get it into vertex form. So I'm going to separate the x's. Take out the 1/3. You could review your notes from section 7.2 if you forget how to do this stuff. Half of 8 is 4, 4 squared is 16, 16 times a third is 16 thirds, so 31 thirds minus 16 thirds is 15 thirds, or 5. And this middle number is always going to be half, so we have x plus 4 squared plus 5. Alright, so our vertex would be, we're going to the left 4 and up 5. The focus would be negative 4, and then 5 plus 1 over 4a, or negative 4 comma 5 plus 1 over 4/3 is the same thing as 3/4, or we could just say the focus is negative 4 comma 5 3/4. The equation of the directrix is y is equal to 5 minus 1 over 4a, which would be 5 minus 1 over 4/3 is 3/4, which would be y is equal to 4 1/4. And then the equation of, or the length of the LR would be 1 over the absolute value of 1/3 units, which is 3 units. All right, so I think that's a good, review. We'll do one more. What if I told you that the, let's see here. Focus was 3 comma 8, and the directrix is y equals 4. Well, we know that the focus, the formula for that would be h comma k plus 1 over 4a. So we know h is 3, and 8 is k plus 1 over 4a. We also know the equation of the directrix is y is equal to k minus 1 over 4a. So if we add them together, we get that k is equal to 6. And h is 3. And we just need to figure out what a is. So if k is 6, I'm going to plug that in right here. And I get 2 equals 1 over 4a. So 8a is equal to 1. A would be 1/8. All right, so that's a good review with parabolas. Then moving on to section 7.3. Section 7.3, we were talking about circles. And with circles, we had the equation x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where our center is h comma k, and our radius is going to be just r units. So whatever it's equal to, you just take the square root of that. So we'll do one example with circles. So let's say we had x squared plus y squared plus 16x minus 22y minus 20 is equal to 0. The directions are going to be to find the center and the radius. So let's get the x's by themselves. We'll get the y by themselves. We can factor out a 1 here. We could factor out a 1 here. Now we could complete the square. So with the x's, we're going to take half of 16, which is 8. 8 squared is 64. 64 times 1 is 64, so we're going to subtract 64. Half of 22 is 11. 11 squared is 121. I'm going to multiply that by 1, and then I'm going to subtract 121. And we wind up getting x plus, this would be x plus 8 squared plus y minus 11 squared. is equal to negative 64 minus 121 minus 20 is negative 205. So bring it on the other side, we get 205. And our center would now be negative 8, comma 11, and our radius would be the square root of 205 units. So just make sure you always simplify if you can. If you try to break up 205, you'll get 5 and 41. 41 isn't going to break up anymore. For homework, what I would like you to do is I would like you to do the attached worksheet to this lesson. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.